Beyboz'a geldik. Balina izleme turlarını tekne için bilet alacağız. Burada grup var. Bakalım bilet fiyatları ne kadar şimdi. 3 kişi 285 dolar. 285 mi verdin? Ne kadar verdin? 285 dolar 20 sent vermiş annesi üçümüze, öyle mi? Yok, çok fena. Ama bakalım, balina izleyecekler. Ben çok izledim de gemilerden. Bizimkiler de izlesin bakalım. Botumuz kalkıyor.
Well up here, you are more than welcome to sit on the bench seat. However, I ask you don't touch the wheel as it is a live wheel. This will take command away from Captain Roy, and that is a form of piracy. Don't be at it. As well, this lovely structure up here on the top deck, I want you to take a grand old look at it. And forget about it, that is going to be for crew only here today. That is our crow's nest, so should we get out to that point and spot 11 o'clock, keep your eyes up towards the left side of the bow. Coming towards us. Hey, now these folks, these whales are very curious, intelligent creatures. They respond quite well to noise and motion. Wave your arm, make... He's coming up, servicing 11 o'clock, right off the boat here. Hello! Come here, whaley, whaley, whaley. Right in front of us.
Bak bak. İrem bak İrem. Gel. Gördün mü?
Da.
Kocaman. Gördün mü?
Right side, folks. If you don't have a good view, get up to a railing. Remember, you'll never see these people again. You don't have to be nice.
Güzel ha?
11 o'clock, just under the surface there. Just sitting there for you.
Hang on. And I hang on.
Tutun bana.
Right under the surface, coming up. You wouldn't believe how much fish we go through to get them to do that.
Someone was telling me they recognize the sound.
They can. So they are very intelligent creatures.
There he is again.
Yeah, still up towards that 2 o'clock position there, folks. Heading a bit more towards the shoreline there. Oh my goodness.
Annen de.
3 o'clock, come to the surface here. Watch him now.
Bak çıktı.
Oh, is this not spectacular or what? Oh my goodness, it doesn't get better than that.
I went out whale watching it.
It was a late spring there.
Adaya geldik. Burada puffinlere bakacağız. Kuşları pisletmiş.
Out of nowhere there.
Burada bir adanın oyuğu var. Ada mağarası var galiba.
Good season of the blue though this year. Yeah, they had a good season.
Is it a cave?
Sorry?
Is it a cave there? Island's cave?
Yeah, this is our island here.
Yeah, there's inside the hole.
Cave.
Caves.
There's
Maybe.
a couple here, yes, but
Yeah.
no, we don't get into any of those. But there are two very key habitats we're going to be looking at here today. The rock faces you're going to be seeing close to the shoreline here. That is going to be home to several species, including the common murre, which is a small penguin-looking bird. The razorbill auk, which also is a small penguin-looking bird, a little bit different though, but I'll point that out in a while. The black-legged kittiwake, which is the gull species you're seeing kicking around the rocks here. They are the second smallest gull on the planet. But up in the grassy slopes there, every one of those white bellies you see is one of our very own Atlantic puffins, standing in front of their very own 2-bedroom puffin condominium.
Oho, İrem.
A bit of a safety note if you're on my top deck here, folks. If you're looking
Zoom'a
out for the love of God,
zoom'u
keep your mouth
yaklaştır.
shut.
Yukarıda bak penguen gibi.
That's not snow coming down. All of these birds here doing this time of year, and I tell you what, they are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get lucky. This is a breeding colony, bit of a Love Island situation on the go here, but this is the only time that these birds will ever be on land throughout the year, is when they're here for breeding. The rest of the year, they will be spread across the North Atlantic, sitting on the open water for the majority of their lives, and they have some specific adaptations that allow them to do so. Firstly, they can drink salt water, same way we can fresh water. They have a specialized organ in their head called the supraorbital gland, and that actually will pull the salt out of their blood after they consume salt water. And then it expels that salt down their nose or beak, so they can drink salt water. They're also fishing birds. All of our species here will be eating the same thing as our whales, the capelin, a small snout-like species that comes to the shores of Newfoundland in the trillions to breed. So, lots of them around, and I tell you what, they are the ecological backbone of this island. The codfish are after them, all our birds eat them, the whales eat them, the odd Newfoundlander here and there gets after them as well. Very tasty little fish, but everything around here is here because of the capelin. And as well, on the note of our birds being on the open water, they are very well insulated. These birds will be more than happy sitting on the surface of the water there. They have very thick down feathers there, allowing them to stay nice and toasty. But the outer feathers on them there are very finely interwoven, allowing them to be essentially waterproof, thanks to as well the oils that they secrete. Or I suppose more PG, a tickle ace is also a title that has been heard, but it's not a bad word if it's in the dictionary. Our kittiwakes, the chicks are also starting to get a bit large this time of year, folks. They're kind of hit that point in their lives where mom and dad are trying to kick them out of the nest and they're not having it. So that angsty teenage phase. And as well, folks, these chicks are about a week and a half old here, I'd say. Maybe a little bit older than that here, but they have grown immensely since the last week. Every day I come out here, I'm just shocked to see how big they've gone. And they're starting to pick up some of that coloration there of their parents. They grow up so fast.
So the black ones with the white chest, those are ox, did you say?
Some of them. So
The black ones with the white chest.
you'll see some black ones up there with a white chest, and they stand a bit taller there. They will have a thinner beak. That is a murre.
A murre?
And then you'll see some up there that are black and white and are a bit hunched over there and have a thicker beak. There'll be a little bit of white on that beak as well. That is going to be the razorbill auk. Now, like I was saying, folks, all of our birds out here are fishing birds, so they will actually be eating the capelin, and they've got some pretty impressive feats behind them there in terms of doing so. The puffins, as well as our razorbill auk, will be diving to depths of up to 200 feet while fishing. Comparatively, the murre has them 3 times beat. The murres are diving to depths of up to 600 feet while fishing. And a note on the puffins, actually, and this is something I enjoyed here. They've got something in their mouth referred to as denticles. They are spikes sitting on the roof of their mouth there that allow them to carry multiple capelin at once. So if you've ever seen that iconic shot of the puffin carrying a bunch of fish all in their mouth there, that is thanks to something called denticles, which are smaller of our 2 common murre colonies here. Great difference, though, in the nesting habits. These birds will lay their eggs directly on the rock, compared to our puffins, which will dig those burrows out there to have their nest. So, common murres, Atlantic puffins. They look similar, a lot of different behavior there, though. Another key thing out here, folks, is there is no fresh water available on the island for our species. So, there are no predators out here other than other birds. No cats, rats, bats, anything like that to disturb these nesting sites. There are only 2 species of birds out here that will predate on these puffins and others. Does anyone want to take a guess as to what they might be? I heard eagle and a gull. So, the bald eagle is our #1 predator for our puffins out here, but the #2 predator is a species of gull, the greater black-backed gull. And that gull there will consume about 1 puffin every day or 2. This time of day we call that an egg McPuffin. Oh. Now, folks, we're coming up to a section of the island I like to refer to as the bus stop. This will be our closest encounter with our puffin habitat here. It's a great opportunity now off our left side to get some excellent shots of our puffins in their natural homes. If you are struggling, so that puffin could have actually lived longer, it just only made 41 years of breeding and said, you know what, I'm sick of this. I've had my hand at it, I'm sick of the dating apps. I'm gone. As well, folks, the hillside you're seeing here is a direct relation to why this is a great area for our puffins, as puffins are pretty horrendous flyers. They're not very good at it. In fact, to stay up in the air, they need to flap their wings about 300 times a minute. So it's not something they want to be doing too often. It's a very calorically intense activity. So the hills give them a bit of an edge there while they're taking off, as they can't take off of flat ground. They either need the surface of the water or a ledge like this where they will launch themselves off and then start flying. I do believe the movie Toy Story put it best. It's not flying, it's falling with style. But this area is amazing for our puffin nesting sites, as it does give them that area where they can almost leap off there and then get their flight going. But they really don't want to be flying if they can avoid it, as it is a very intensive activity for them. That is a thickbill. There's about a dozen of them here on the island. He's actually supposed to be in Iceland right now, but he got lost on his migration path, looked at the neighborhood and said, you know what, you guys look enough like me, let's call it a day. If you didn't see it though, I wouldn't sweat it, as truth be told, he does look pretty much the same as every other mer, and a mer's a mer's a mer, so you know. Anyway here folks, that's going to conclude my interpretation here at Gull Island. If there are any questions on our way back towards Bay Bulls, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to chat birds with you. One final note though, there are between 1.5